Hi there, Presley here. If I asked you what are the most memorable things about Metal Gear Solid, you would probably say sneaking around in a cardboard box. But somewhere down that list would be the iconic villains and brilliant boss battles. Although the boss battles were amazing and groundbreaking for their time, the gameplay today can seem a little bit repetitive with the rinse and repeat strategies you need to defeat these bosses. This video will look at ways we can improve every single boss battle. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. One general note I would like to make about how we can improve every single boss battle in Metal Gear Solid 1 is by giving the player some kind of reward for defeating every single boss. This can be seen in Metal Gear Solid 4. For example, when you defeat Crying Wolf, you get the railgun. When you defeat Raging Raven, you get the grenade launcher, etc. These rewards that I'm going to mention could either be for simply defeating the boss and then picked up after, or they could be for getting a non-lethal kill on the boss. So the first boss of Metal Gear Solid 1 was Revolver Ocelot. The first way we could improve this boss battle is by making the boss battle far more meaningful. Why? Because in retrospect, Revolver Ocelot is the main villain of the entire Metal Gear Solid series. This first encounter between him and Solid Snake needs to be very impactful. As you can remember, the boss battle in the original game is the tiny square room and you're running around in squares playing a game of weird little kiss chase. This chasing around in squares firing after Ocelot can be compared to one of those old silent slapstick movies. You could imagine putting a sepia tint on it and just playing some silly music over the top. It's not the most intense stuff. However, I do like the fact that this is a kind of chase fight sequence. A way we could improve this would be to make it in a much larger room. Imagine a room with maybe 1 or 2 floors and there's just tripwire everywhere, almost like a tripwire maze. You can chase Ocelot between cover, but ultimately I would imagine this would be more of a cover and fire kind of fight. For example, like the Ocelot fight in Metal Gear Solid 3. And it would be quite cool if there was a CQC sequence every time you catch up with him. Another way we could improve this boss battle is just by completely removing the innuendos. Most of you probably won't remember these, but I swear Ocelot says something about sliding a long silver bullet into a well-greased chamber. Just know. For defeating Revolver Ocelot, the reward would have to 100% be the single army action, the Colt that Revolver Ocelot uses during this boss battle. His arm of course gets cut off at the end. It would be easy to imagine that he drops the gun and Snake just picks it up. The second boss battle in Metal Gear Solid 1 is the Vulcan Raven tank fight. This is a very solid and intuitive boss battle. However, it's very formulaic. You chuck the grenade into the hatch, rinse and repeat. The way I would improve this boss battle is by once again expanding the battlefield. Add more things that can be used for cover, such as rocks and snowy banks. Also, I think the boss battle could be improved by adding soldiers patrolling the area looking for Snake. The aim of the battle would be navigating from cover to cover, taking out the guards silently and getting close enough to the tank to chuck a grenade in. Obviously, after you've taken out one wave of soldiers, another wave would come in. How I would prevent this from becoming repetitive is by, once you're about 2/3 of the way into the tank's life bar, a blizzard hits the area. This will decrease visibility for both Snake and the soldiers and of course the tank. It will play out a little bit like the Crying Wolf boss battle in Metal Gear Solid 4. To add to the threat, if the tank spots you and shoots you, it should definitely be a one-hit kill. It's a tank, for goodness sake. There's no way a human could take a shot like that. The reward Snake should get for defeating the tank is maybe something high-powered. I'm thinking the anti-material rifle. Maybe this could be picked up from one of the soldiers who was in the tank or one of the soldiers patrolling around. The third boss battle is the fight with the Cyborg Ninja. There aren't too many ways to improve this fight as it's fairly straightforward. However, I think the CQC mechanics can be improved for more diverse hand-to-hand combat. So instead of Snake doing the same old 2-piece and a soda combo that he always does, we can add some new moves in there, some more animations, just to make it look and feel more like a real fight. Also, dodging, parrying, countering, this kind of stuff would just improve the gameplay. The reward for defeating the ninja 100% has to be the sword. Now again, this could be a huge game changer, so maybe this could be a post-game unlockable for defeating the... No, that wouldn't work. The fourth boss fight in Metal Gear Solid is Psycho Mantis. This is a very difficult boss fight to consider how to improve. The original boss fight relied on a lot of novelties, one of them being you had to change your controller ports from port 1 to port 2 to avoid having your mind read. Another one was Psycho Mantis moving your controller and reading your memory card. Now with the new hardware, I'm sure the sky is the limit with all the new tricks that Psycho Mantis would be able to do. However, I don't have a next-gen console. So I can't really tell you. But this boss battle will have to play out as some kind of puzzle. Because if you imagine the small office that the boss fight happens in, with over-the-shoulder aiming, you'd be able to dispatch Psycho Mantis in no time. One way this can be made more difficult is if Psycho Mantis lifts objects and doesn't only just use them to attack Snake, but uses them to defend. For example, lifting tables, ladders, and chairs to defend Snake's shots. The reward for defeating Psycho Mantis could be the dolls, for example, the ones you pick up from Screaming Mantis in Metal Gear Solid 4. Other than that, I couldn't really think of anything else. Let's move on to boss number 5, Sniper Wolf. Once again, the first boss battle with Sniper Wolf is a very simple battle, and there aren't many ways this can be changed. If I was to change the area in which the fight happens, I would maybe put a few pillars on Snake's side to hide behind. This is one of the fights in Metal Gear Solid 1 where you really have to suspend your disbelief. Snake lays on the floor in the open against an elite sniper, just taking shots. It's very unrealistic. This should be changed to a more cover and fire type of fight. For an example of this, you need to look no further than what Sniper Wolf is doing in the exact same boss fight. She takes cover behind the construction pillars. You don't know which side she's going to pop out from. The same needs to happen on Snake's end as well. Another thing I would change about this boss fight is, like the quiet fight from Metal Gear Solid 5, I think Sniper Wolf, if she hits you, should be a one-hit kill on you. I really like the idea of her being a very elite sniper, and if she aims and shoots, she gets you in the head every time. The reward for this fight is quite easy. I think it should be Meryl's Desert Eagle. Meryl is of course gunned down on the battlefield. It's not beyond belief to imagine she drops her Desert Eagle, Snake picks it up after the fight. Boss number 6, the Hind fight. Now this one, there really isn't much to improve. One thing I would like to improve would be before this boss fight when you're abseiling down the tower. Now at this point, Snake is an open target. He has the Hind D with an open shot as he is abseiling down the building. It would be quite cool if there was an aiming mechanic as you're abseiling down and you can return fire at the Hind. This would be pretty cool to chip off a tiny bit of life before you start the boss battle. I've thought about what the reward should be for defeating the Hind, and it should definitely be a gun with explosive power. Now the grenade launcher, aka the noob tube, made its debut in Metal Gear Solid 4 or 3. The grenade launcher should be the reward. The 7th boss battle is Sniper Wolf Part 2. Ironically, as the Crying Wolf fight drew inspiration from the Sniper Wolf fight, the Sniper Wolf fight should draw back inspiration from the Crying Wolf fight. I'm pretty much saying they should play very, very similar. Except this time I wouldn't add soldiers onto the battlefield. I like the very personal one-on-one fight with Sniper Wolf. But the blizzard reducing visibility about halfway into the fight, yeah, that's a very good feature. This should be in the 2nd Sniper Wolf fight. The reward for this fight should be the non-lethal sniper rifle. Boss number 8, Vulcan Raven. This is one of my favourite boss fights as there is no gimmick to it. It feels just like a mano-a-mano fight. The only thing is this fight can be a little bit easy because you have use of the radar. I would do either one of two things for this boss fight. I would either disable the radar in the room in which you fight Vulcan Raven, or I would allow it to be enabled. However, I would give Vulcan Raven the ability to throw chaff grenades to disturb your radar. Another way in which this boss battle could be improved is if we improve the AI of Vulcan Raven. For example, if you fire missiles like the remote control missile, he doesn't hear it. He only hears it if it goes right up close to him. Surely he should be able to hear the explosion of the fire. This should then alert him to your position. Another even more ridiculous thing is when you hit him with a missile, sometimes he would just keep walking in the direction he was walking before. Once again, he shows no urgency, and sometimes it's not even like he's trying to chase you down. This boss battle can be improved is if he reacts to everything you do. Another way to make this boss battle incredibly interesting is if any time he sees or hears you, he comes charging at you full speed. Now I know what you're thinking, it's probably unlikely because he's so big and slow and he's got an extremely heavy gun. But Vulcan Raven is a unit of a man and he should definitely charge at you when he finds you. This would make this boss battle so intense. As the fight goes on, Vulcan Raven gets more agitated and starts destroying some cover. I would like to see this feature ramped up to the next level. Halfway through the fight, he should become enraged and destroy cover left, right and center. I don't just mean dropping boxes and blocking some routes, I mean fully obliterating cover with his gun. So as the fight goes on, there are less places to hide and it becomes extremely intense. The reward for defeating Vulcan Raven should definitely be his Gatling gun. I don't know a Metal Gear Solid fan who wouldn't love to use that gun. This will be a bonus high-powered gun similar to the railgun in Metal Gear Solid 4. It'll be really fun to equip that gun in the final fight with Metal Gear. I could definitely imagine it doing some damage. Speaking of Metal Gear, the 9th boss battle in Metal Gear Solid is Metal Gear Rex. Once again, there's not much to change here. It's your typical final Metal Gear battle. However, I would make the area in which you fight Metal Gear much bigger, more along the lines of the Sahelanthropus fight from Metal Gear Solid 5. Just more places to run, more places to hide. Now, I couldn't think of the most appropriate reward for defeating Metal Gear Rex. However, I settled on two possibilities. The first one could be the railgun as seen in Metal Gear Solid 4. The second option is a little more interesting. It could be a gun that's similar to the mounted arm cannon that Grey Fox uses in that final boss fight. Solid Snake can just pick that up right off his dead body. The 10th and final boss battle in Metal Gear Solid is the fist fight with Liquid Snake. As mentioned earlier when I spoke about the Cyborg Ninja fight, this should just have improved CQC. More animations, dodging, parrying, countering, grappling. Something along the lines of the Liquid Ocelot fight at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4. The reward for defeating Liquid Snake should be, as a Metal Gear Solid tradition, the Patriot gun. And there you have it. Those are the ways in which I would like to improve the boss battles from Metal Gear Solid. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Which is your favourite boss battle? Which is your least favourite boss battle? And let me know how you would improve any of the boss battles from Metal Gear Solid. The top comment from my last video goes to Hat Peasy Cat. You can see that comment on screen right now. I'm glad to hear you loved that game as much as I did. Finally, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to Prez1990 for more weekly gaming videos. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.